Hello, this is Lee coming to you live under the branches of my secret hiding place tree. And just checking in. I flew home from Europe, a 3-week vacation, a few days ago, and I'm still catching up to myself in spite of long naps and falling asleep on the couch at 8 o'clock. Haven't quite fully arrived. So, as someone who has committed to sharing with you from my heart every week on this platform, I'm aware that I was feeling tempted to fall into the trap of choosing production and perfection over presence. And I have to admit that right now I'm struggling to meet my own expectations. So after sitting myself down for a heart-to-heart talk, I decided instead of pushing myself, forcing myself to write an essay, I'm offering instead this off-the-cuff voice note about what's really up for me right now. You know, we traveled to England and Belgium, and when we got back and first walked into the Atlanta airport, I noticed a distinct spike in the fear energy. Certainly the frantic rushing around was a contrast to Europe. There was also a spike in the fear, which is understandable. So in a meditation last night, I became aware of really how heavy my body feels, really feeling the cruelty that's on display in our country right now. And a friend had shared his oracle cards with me. I love these cards, the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck by Kim Kranz. But when I chose a card and turned it over, what I saw was the Orphan. And to explore the Orphan is really to study the deep and challenging energy of our time. We're constantly plugged in, and yet we face collective isolation. I believe it's a symptom of our separation from the mother. So we're in a time of universal orphanage. We're abandoning nature, each other, and our own hearts. The refugee crisis haunts our planet. Children are separated from their parents, which is heartbreaking. And Mother Earth is suffering neglect. So we all share this core wound and the dilemma of the orphan. And it's normal to fear facing this wound. To be honest, when I saw the Orphan card, I pushed my hand, my whole body was pushing it away. I felt a lot of resistance to even reading the message that the card had to offer. But as I sat with the message and felt into what it means to me right now, slowly I was able to turn toward the thought that I could take one step toward the orphan. And what I came to realize was each one of us, even the people we judge as cruel and evil, every one of us fears rejection and isolation. And so I asked myself, the card invited me to ask myself to notice what I'm starving for. And that, to me right now, is space to feel, to be in the presence of the feelings that are stirring in me, to feel the heaviness in my body, to really allow the sadness to come through. I know there are many paths to joy, but I can't snap my fingers and skip over the grief to get there. And so I'm giving myself permission to turn toward the grief slowly, giving myself time to not produce, to be still, and to notice what's present within me. So I'm sitting under this tree today And at some point, I imagine I will ask the orphan what it wants to create, what it wants to draw or write or paint or collage, what it wants to express through me. And of course, when the time is right, I will share it with you, whatever comes through. So thank you for listening. I appreciate you being here. We could not do this alone. Thank you for walking with me.